Hi, I'm Dorothy White with Channel 6, and we're so glad that you could join us today. We're here for Community Focus, and with us today we have Miss Jill Hawkins. She is with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and we're so excited it's going to be here before we know it, Jill.
Absolutely. It's getting closer every day. The countdown clock is on.
It is, and exactly how many days do we have left?
Not enough.
Well, you know, when Gary and I were first talking about this, I told him, you know, I know how crazy it gets those last few weeks, and I know you've got a million different details that you're trying to do your check-off list and get everything done, and I know that you have some of the best workers.
We do. We absolutely do. We're so fortunate. We have two core people that staff the team besides myself, Lisanna Bird and Johanna Lawson. And then seasonally, we also usually bring somebody in, and this year that was Leslie Downs, who's a student down at Western, finishing up, but she'll be back for the festival to help us out.
Wow, that sounds like a fun internship. She's going to go back to school with a lot of stories and just a lot of interesting things.
We tried to provide her with some unique opportunities.
Yeah. Well, speaking of opportunities, I am looking around this room and I am just seeing how incredibly beautiful you have made it. We are on the third floor, is that correct? The third floor of Spalding Hall, right in the middle of the action for the Bourbon Festival. This is where, if you've never been to the Bourbon Festival, which I don't even want to discuss that part of it, because if you live in Nelson County or anywhere in the United States or internationally, it's just become such an incredible festival. Can you just kind of tell us a little bit about the history and just things that we might want to share?
Well, the festival started as a single dinner on a golf course, and we've grown. We now have multiple events spread over multiple days, multiple venues. As you said, we're here in Spalding Hall. We have programming here down in the chapel area. We run an event during festival week called the VIP Loft Experience.
Oh, wow. That's great.
We invite some of our ticket holders up here to enjoy some cocktails and some fine food. They can check their internet, they can check their Wi-Fi or email, take a break, and just be steps away from the action, because as you know, all of our arts and crafts and vendors set up out here on the front lawn. We have our spirit garden. We've partnered with the Rotary again this year to bring that. We have music on the lawn, which is just off the other way. The barrel relay is out behind us, so we really are sitting right in the middle of all the lawn action. And then, as I said, we have events all over town. We have an event out at the airport, Samuels Field.
Oh my gosh, now that's something that you've brought back from a long time ago, because I know I did go to an event out there one time and it was fabulous. And we just happened, they had the opening for the hangar like halfway up, and then right as sunset, they took it all the way up, and everyone was sitting there, you know, with the music playing in the background, and the sun was just setting. It was one of the most beautiful venues I have ever seen, and I did kind of wonder why they didn't, you know, keep doing that.
We're back. We're back. We run flights of bourbon out there.
Okay.
Get it? Flights, the airport.
Yes.
But the teams from 1792 and Buffalo Trace are hosting that event this year, so we're really looking forward to some exciting things. So we're out at the airport. Of course, we're out at the Guthrie Opportunity Center, which is where we hold our gala and our sampler. We have an event at my old Kentucky home, State Park. That's Bourbon, Cigars, and Jazz on Friday night. Wickland on Saturday night. We have a very casual, low-key event called Bottled in Bonfire.
Oh, now that's definitely something new. I have not heard anything about that. Can you kind of explain that a little bit about, you know, what that event entails?
It involves bottled in bond bourbons, and our guests have a chance to taste those, engage with the brands, and learn about those bourbons. We have a nice buffet. We have some real low-key music and some bonfires in the backyard. It's, you know, our gala, our black tie signature, all-out experience is on one end of the spectrum, and then Bottled and Bond really is the other side. Very casual, very mellow. It's becoming a favorite of many of our guests. So we're very excited about both of those this year. And then on Sunday, we have a brunch this year, and we're featuring some of our craft distilleries. So they'll be pouring some of their products, and some of those are bourbon and some are not.
Right.
But we'll have a great brunch, and we've partnered with the Civil War Museum and the Village, so you'll be able to explore both of those properties with some nice food and drink, and so we look for that to be a nice way to kind of round out the week.
Oh my gosh, that sounds just wonderful. I am so thrilled that you have brought back some things. I do remember an event at the Civil War Museum and being there and just seeing that facility. And again, there's so many people in Nelson County and in our area that have maybe never experienced that. So what an opportunity for them to get them involved not only in the Bourbon Festival, but to bring in all the other entities at the same time. So that's exciting. And Jill, I know, how many years have you been at this?
This will be my 4th festival at the helm. I worked for a few years with the festival before taking this role, but this will be my 4th festival at the helm.
Okay. Well, I just know in a position like that, you're under so much pressure for every single event to be successful, all the folks that you have coming in, and I don't know if people really realize how international this event has become over the years, and this is your 26th year? 27th year. See, time just flies by just while you're sitting here. And with that 27th, I see that you do have a new poster this year, which always is an exciting time.
This year is all about scientific proof, a new spin. We've not taken the festival in this direction before, but it's also a nod to our growing partnership with Moonshine University. One of the things that we've heard from our fans and our guests is that they're really interested in the product, not just tasting the product, but the product itself. And Moonshine U does such a great job of teaching bourbon. They have great certified steward, executive bourbon steward classes, which we are now offering up here off season.
Okay.
But
and that's right in this facility.
It is.
Okay.
It is. But the team at Moonshine U offers 3 different programs for us during the festival: a taste of the flavors of fermentation, the science of maturation, and a whiskey and its grain. So they really get into the science of the product, which has been very well received by our guests. So that's just a little of what we do in the chapel. And as I said up here, we are now offering those certified bourbon steward classes, along with some other things. We had our official cocktail contest up here just a few weeks ago.
Right.
We had great response from the community, but the team at BBC came in, and I tell you, Dorothy, I have never seen anything like that. Their whole team was involved. It was choreographed. They had costumes. It was just completely over the top. They had a soundtrack. But they did a great job. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, all kinds of new and exciting things. But as you mentioned, also a nod to the history, bringing back some of the venues we've used in the past. Our mission is not only to support the bourbon industry, but also to support this community.
Right.
And part of the way we do that is to try to bring attention to some of the gems here in town, like the airport, like my old Kentucky home, and like the Civil War Museum and the Village. So we are very excited about the year we have coming up, and it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah. Well, Jill, I know when they brought you on board, I was just thrilled to have someone in there that was just full of excitement. When she walked in the door, she just brought so much excitement with her. I know that you had, been in the area for a while, but this position requires someone that just enjoys being here, living here, and everything that we have to offer. And I just am thrilled to have you here, and and so excited to have you in this area. The Spalding Hall is right again in the center of town, right downtown, just behind the St. Joe Cathedral. And so if anyone does not know where that is, they certainly can just follow the signs during the Bourbon Festival. But at any other time, just look right behind St. Joe, and here we are at Spalding Hall. So along with Spalding Hall, I also have noticed you have a beautiful bar area here. And with that bar area, I think that it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that maybe we need to have just a tiny, tiny taste of bourbon. And I see that you have some staff members here with us today. Let's just introduce these staff members.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisanna Bird, and I am now the assistant director here at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. I have been here since February. And
hello, I'm Johanna Lawson. I've been with the festival about 13 years, lucky 13, and I am the assistant operations assistant.
That means she's an assistant with everything.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Right. The nuts and bolts.
jack of all trades.
Thank you, ladies. We are so pleased. And these look like some very special etched bourbon glasses. And I know someone from out of state was asking me one time, they just said, well, everything's expensive. And I said, it's not expensive when you take into consideration all that you benefit from that. When you go to these events, a lot of times these glasses are set so you can take them home from the gala. I know even the Cigars and Jazz, we would take many, many glasses. In fact, my cupboards are full. But they are so beautiful and so unique. I know sometimes the etching is just so special and just brings so much more to the Bourbon Festival that, outside folks just maybe don't appreciate as much. And then, of course, the bourbon inside it, there's just no comparison, and we just have such a variety here. I think we need to do a little toast here to the Bourbon Festival. Cheers. And Channel 6. Well, thanks so much for having us. We're just maybe just a tiny taste here. And for me, it's the scent that is fabulous too. It just smells wonderful. And I know my husband gives me a hard time when I try to mix it with anything, because he said, you're spoiling it, because truly it has such a wonderful flavor and taste on its own that we want to have an appreciation for that. Is there anything else that we need to share with folks? I know that having this area has just brought so much to the table. It has just taken it up a whole nother notch.
I think one thing to add would be just if you want more information about the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, especially with our new website, save the date. It's coming soon, September 12th through the 16th. If you want more information, just go to our website, kybourbonfestival.com. We have a brand new website that has been developed this year, so it is user friendly and has just a long list of great photos and events and history and our board members, everything. It's like a one-stop shop for all things Bourbon Festival related. Yes, all our participating bourbons, so check it out.
Okay, wonderful.
And we did get, again this year, the best attraction and event in Nelson County.
Well, that kind of goes without saying, but we do appreciate that so much, and I know that you ladies are going to be working really hard in these next few weeks, but I know that anyone that takes the time and energy to come even downtown, there's so many things going on, we couldn't even begin to list them. You really need to check it out on the website, and these young ladies are all going to be right downtown, right in the middle of the action. So thank you so much for having us here today, and hopefully we'll be back.
Sounds great.
Okay, thanks so much. Cheers.